Right, let's look back on some of the big stories of the night. We'll talk Man City 5-0 in just a moment, but one goal enough for Liverpool. They've won at Leipzig, which, Tim, you know, we said was a tricky old contest going into this one with Leipzig defensively, best defence in the Bundesliga. How good a win is that for Liverpool tonight?
Yeah, I thought it was a really professional performance from Liverpool. It wasn't outstanding anyway. I wasn't off the edge of my seat all of the game, but don't need to be. Don't need to entertain me. You just need to win football matches, especially in the early stage of this Champions League, and they're doing everything. I mean, I think the manager's very good. I think they dominated the game. Not over. You know, there wasn't like. It wasn't a total domination. There was still some chances from Leipzig. I thought Kaleo played well and made saves when he had to. But once Nunez gives them the lead, I thought they got a lot more confident, and it was a blatant penalty turned down when Nunez gets brought down by Oban, the captain of Leipzig. Wasn't given, went to VAR. Don't know what they were looking at. Obviously, there was a power cut when that was going on. Because it was a ridiculous decision. Should have been 2-0 and it would have been very, very comfortable. But like I say, then after that, Konate, Van Dijk and Gravenberch, who's been a revelation all season, just marshalled out any danger. They just put out fires, and they were outstanding, them three tonight. And I think that is 11 wins out of the first 12 games. And that's the first time, I believe, in history.
It is, and it's also the first time in their history they've won their opening 6 away games.
Yeah.
I mean, this man Arne Slot, you know what it's like to go into a club and take over. All right, he was taking over a side that was in pretty rude health.
Yeah.
But just give us some sort of perspective on the job he has done to win 11 of his first 12 games.
Yeah, he's not only gone in there and he's kept it the same on the pitch, but he's a complete contrast to the man who was in there. We loved having Jurgen here. You know, he was brilliant for the Premier League, charismatic. This man's completely different. You know, he's just himself. You know, he's unassuming. He's just getting on with his job. He talks obviously to his players. They're listening to him. And it wasn't broke, so he hasn't fixed it. He hasn't tried to change too much. He hasn't got that aura about him now. I need to stamp my authority on this. He's thinking, well, I've got a good set of players here. I need to keep them happy. And, you know, it helps when I think he's had a good run of fixtures in the Premier League, you know, to get some wins and some confidence under their belt. But in the Champions League, they've done well as well. So, you know, so far so good for Arne Slot. He's done a brilliant job at Liverpool. It was a really, really tough job and a tough manager to finish following.
And just finally, looking ahead to Sunday, Super Sunday, against Arsenal at the Emirates. You know, the contrast in sort of noise and mood in the two clubs in the last week or so is quite stark, isn't it? Can you see Liverpool going there and getting a result?
I think it'd be a very difficult game for both sides. Arsenal obviously are capable of winning, depending on who's fit for Arsenal. Saka will be a huge player. Looks like it's going to be too soon for Odegaard. Look, it's a 50-50 game, that's for sure. Liverpool are going to be very competitive. No one knows in the Liverpool side who's going to start. I think the two centre-backs will start, Konate and Van Dijk, and I think Gravenberch has earned his place. Mo Salah will come off tonight after an hour. He will start. Other than that, I think they'll be having a close look at what team the manager picks, because they've got so many options. They've got a lot of attacking options. Nunez scores tonight. He probably sits on the bench at the weekend. So, you know, he's in a very nice place at the moment, Arne Slot. I bet he thinks, what's all the fuss about this Premier League?
Absolutely. You know, no Premier League teams in the final last season, but the Premier League appears to be hitting back. 12 games played so far in the league phase, 10 wins, 2 draws, no defeats, 24 goals scored, 1 goal conceded. 5 of those goals scored by Manchester City tonight. Danny Mills watched, Erling Haaland got 2, and the first one was quite something, wasn't it?
The first one was unbelievable, really. You know, you remember Giroud's scorpion kick. It was that, but he did it while he was jumping sort of 6 foot in the air. It was just incredible. I'm sure there'll be kids all week, you know, practicing that and trying that on Saturday, Sunday mornings, whatever it might be. City were imperious, they were emphatic. They just dominated from start to finish. You know, Sparta Praha gave them so much respect. They sat off. But City also have different ways of beating you at times. You know, they will pass you to death. They will create chances. Savinho was a little bit different tonight. He was able to get the ball and run at people and dribble. Matheus Nunes on the other side also was happy to dribble at people. And then they can just throw it into the box. You know, with Erling Haaland in there, John Stones from set pieces. They've got different ways of winning games as well. And when we talked about, you know, teams having injuries and squad rotation, 5 changes from the weekend, 5 big players out at the moment, and they still win 5-0. You know, and they're not. People would say they're not playing particularly well so far this season. So it's ominous for everybody else.
Yeah, ominous 80% possession as well. 700 plus passes for Manchester City. 5-0 winners, their biggest win of the season, despite missing some players tonight as well, with Grealish facing a spell out of the team.
Pep, thank you for your time. At the start of every season, you often hear managers talk about players and that extra 1% to go again. How do you get that extra 1% as a coach and a manager within yourself to go again?
But the competition itself, give it to you this. All athletes that we have, or myself, a sportman, so when we have a game, we want to do your best, you want to win. So it's not much difficult than that.
But I remember vividly in the treble-winning season, you just won the Premier League title, and you talked about how exhausted you were in that moment. There was still the FA Cup and the Champions League to come. How exhausting is it to manage in the Premier League with the demands that you put upon yourself every day?
Yeah, a lot, especially at the end of the season, but it's what it is. We handled it in the past, hopefully we don't have much injuries. And we try to, to handle it and to do it. At the end, every season, not the travel seasons, every season at the end, it's like, wow, come on, it's finished, because the target is there. But yeah, it's what it is. We are used to, so we know already.
How long does it take you to get over that exhaustion, though, once you've accomplished what you want to do?
Well, after you have a holidays, 1 month and a half, and after, you have time to refresh, a little bit your minds.
Because I'm going to ask you about Rafa Nadal in a moment, but there's only Novak Djokovic still standing from that era of great tennis players. When you came into the Premier League, there was Arsene Wenger, Jose Mourinho, Jurgen, and obviously yourself, and you now are the last person standing in the Premier League. Did you think it would be like that when you first came?
Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. Yeah, but it's normal. When you are 9 or 10 years old, 9 years, I would say here, in one, always you became, the oldest one, because the people, so in football you don't win. The people like Jurgen is tired, and the people, when you get results, you change the manager. So it's our world. So it's a simple answer for that. I'm still longer because we won. Otherwise, I would not be here. So not even the respect and the confidence that we have each other for the hierarchy with me with the hierarchy. So I would not be here. So here you have to win. Otherwise, in this business, in the people demand, it's the only job that the people is demanding desperately to sack you. So I'm not asking you to the teachers, the doctors, the architects, so don't do your job, don't get your money, be, in pension. So they don't do that. The only we are. So that's why you have to accept it. So yeah, the people are desperate when it doesn't well. Go home and don't get money. And the other one is our profession. You have to accept it.
Because you're still here, does it make you feel like more of a leader? Do you take that more responsibility for the other managers in the Premier League?
No.
When you speak about them and the demands and try and get people to understand
No.
what pressures they're under?
I try to be leader for myself, to be good on myself, don't regret much things, and be. If they want me, the leader of my players, the rest of the team is their business. I don't want to be leader for anyone, no.
How do you calculate success then?
Success, a strong team, strong organization, and a lot of passion for everyone, and a bit of luck, and yeah, that's all.
So going back to Rafa, how did you react when you heard that he was going to call it a day? Because I know you're a massive tennis fan.
A little bit, yeah, all the sports, but tennis as well. So a little bit sad, I understand. I think he happened because he saw that he cannot be or compete, in the level that he had been or he had in the 2 decades. So I admire all of them, all three. For Murray and the other ones, of course, but I think the big three was a little bit the one how. I admire the consistency in the athletes, in every single season being there, and how never give up, how come back for the setbacks and this kind of stuff. I admire a lot, all of them. So for me, they are 3 genius, 3 try to learn a lot with the body languages, because as a tennis players I am a disaster, how they behave in the bad moments, how strong they are mentally, and of course the talent, the skill. So I think all three will be missed. Now still Djokovic, you can enjoy it, but I think the three will be missed.
So when you just said then about you try and learn their body language and try and take things, have you spoken in the past about how you can take things from other sports, and particularly tennis, and put that into your own coaching of footballers?
Yeah. Not in terms of tactics. I'm not an experienced tennis player, nor even in golf, on the sports I like the most. But the fact that I see the eyes and the body, I always pay attention with that. How is in bad moments, how they behave. Always I want to see the losers, how they come back. When you lose a game, how they react the next one. I pay attention a lot on these kinds of behaviors. When everything is, everything is calm and everything is fluid and you win, it's fine, it's okay. I like how the athletes, how they react in the bad moments, and I love it.
Nothing is ever calm in football though, and I imagine the emotions on a pitch for a player, if you're looking at their body language and how they react to certain situations, it's an absolute roller coaster for 90 minutes. So I just wondered how the emotions are as a manager like yourself when you're in the technical area, sort of watching it all unfold in front of you.
Yeah, first of all, I had to analyze what's going on, if the game plan sticks, it works or not works. So I think some of these kind of situations happen, you know what I mean? But after, the emotions sometimes come, when bad decisions, bad mistakes, and hopefully in many years to come, still I'm manager, hopefully I can control better my emotions and my feelings, because sometimes I'm too emotional. But I said in the press conference, it's what it is. So, it's not like a theater or cinema, you see that. Football is completely, the passion is there, and sometimes explodes, sometimes, but maybe in the future I will get better. Or getting worse, I don't know.
You talk about the future. Do you feel you've become wiser as you've become older in this role?
Well, I would say the people, you became wiser when you're older, but just happen if you learn from the experiences. If you don't learn from the experiences, you will not be wiser. But I don't know, and I don't care, because what's going to come is going to come, and I will react in the best way as possible. I'm pretty sure until the last day of our breath, we learn, that is for sure. And I love to learn and to pay attention for the other ones, the other people I meet, because when the last breath is last breath, and after that it's over. So until then, you have to move on.
The one thing, you spoke in your press conference after Thomas Tuchel was announced as England head coach, and I know there was rumours and speculation surrounding you, but you said about how people need to be more open-minded because the world is such a big place. I thought that was fascinating, and I enjoyed listening to you talk about that. Is that just a general belief of yours?
But I would say I didn't say anything special, it's a common sense. So I said one thing, that I was born in Catalonia. I didn't intervene. I was born there when my mom and dad decided to have sex one night, and 9 months later I was there.
You're here?
Yeah, so I'm not, and I love my country because it's my language, my mother tongue, my everything. But in the same time, I traveled to Italy and I met people that I love them, and I love to go to Italy to see them. And here would be the same in other places. So today the people, move all around the world, and we learn from them. So what we learn the most as a human being is for the other people. We read books because what's written for other people that can inspire you and make you feel better. I'm not saying better person or bad person, it's feel you better. And I feel better because I was in Germany, I was in Middle East, I was here, I was in Italy, I was in Mexico, and every part, I was unbelievable. And I learned that we are the same fears, the same wishes, the same desires. The people want to live in peace, the people want to have a decent job, have enough money to have a house, a food on the table, go one day to cinema, theater, or go to a drinks one night, and people just want that. That's why for me it's difficult to understand what happened today in Palestine, what happened today and still in Ukraine, in Russia, in Israel, and this kind of stuff. How many innocent people die. When there is one innocent people die, there is not argument you can sustain, you cannot defend, impossible. But the people want to live in peace. And after that, everyone can be better, have a better job, or do it this or that. You have better life or buy, but the people want to live in peace. And right, in modern world, still being in that position. It's because you don't understand the other one. And the other one is the same like you. Was born one day in one land and want to live that, and sometimes you move here and move there, and nothing changed. And still right now, we are far away as a human being where we should be, honestly. With the history taught us in the past, still we didn't learn. So it's so sad that sometimes a human being behave in that way. So, because now Thomas is the manager, come on, the federation decide full support for English people, come on, to help to make the last step that they need to win a trophy, like Gareth Southgate make.
He was so close.
So close in the bird. So the standard for Gareth is here, that is magnificent. And the federation won next step, decide for that. Yeah, the people will prefer British, it's normal, it's understandable. You know, people who was born here, but they decide, I will support England. Just for the fact I've been 9 years here, I want to support them, that's for sure.
I mean, that could lead me on and say, how long do you feel you will be in England for? Or is that just dependent on how you feel?
I'm happy here now. I learned from that. I learned before when I was starting to manage, I want to anticipate, I want to win that. Now I don't want to win. I want to win tomorrow. I live more day by day with the...
So you never look to the future, you just want to win?
We try, yeah.
Thank you, Pep.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, first of all, we are really happy with a win. You play a difficult away game against a Group 1 team with Leipzig that has done really well in the league till now, and also last season in the Champions League. So we know it was a difficult away game, but what pleased me a lot is what you just said, that we controlled the game for a large part, except for the last 15 to 20 minutes, where we definitely needed our two centre-backs, Virgil and Ibu, to keep a clean sheet, and also our goalkeeper in two big moments. And that was, in my opinion, unnecessary. If we would have left this place with a draw, then I would have really felt that we lost something, because in the 70 minutes before, maybe except from the first 10, we dominated the game.
Ideally, you have all your first choice players available for every game in a season, but obviously with Alisson out injured, Caoimhin Kelleher is in the spotlight. How fortunate do you feel to have a second choice goalkeeper as good as he is?
Yeah, very fortunate. It's also a normal thing at a club like ours that you have for every position almost two very good players, and we are very lucky, we are happy that we have two excellent goalkeepers, especially because Alisson was out last season. He's been out this season again, so that makes it even more important that you have a second choice like that. But it's not only him, it's also other players that maybe haven't played that much this season or were not always in the starting lineup that showed up today as well. So it's good to see that we can do it with more than 11 players. We need the whole squad in a tough season like this.
Yeah, I imagine Nunes, one of those players who obviously came into the starting 11 tonight. That goal, the way he snuck in to tap it home, is that one of his strengths, his desire, his hunger to score any kind of goal when he's on the pitch?
Yeah, I think it was you who asked me before the game, what do you expect from him? And I asked for a goal. Goals, maybe more than one, but he gave us one. But the lead up to the goal, I think Cody Gakpo was also important. With Mo, again, with an assist. So it is a team goal, and I would have loved the one from Godi to go in, because that one started all the way back from the goalkeeper playing through their press. If that one would have gone in, I would have been even more happy, because it was the 2-0, but especially because of the style of play. But it's good and pleasing to see that Darwin did a very good job today.
This week was seen as a real tough test, with two difficult Premier League games either side of this Champions League match tonight, but it's 2 wins out of 2 so far. If you make it 3 wins out of 3 on Sunday at Arsenal, will the expectation of what you can achieve this season just go up a notch?
we first have to play that game, and we know how tough an opponent Arsenal is, especially in their own stadium in the Emirates. And we've faced them this season before in our USA tour, where both teams were not having all their players in yet. But Arteta have done an amazing job here in the last few years. So we know, like against Chelsea and like today, we have to be on top of our game to even have a chance to get a result. But we will do everything to get that, of course.
Liverpool, top of the table in Premier League, top of the table in Champions League. Were you expecting such a good start of the season after saying goodbye to Jurgen Klopp?
Listen, I don't think it's fair to say or say yes to this question. I think I know what kind of quality we have in the dressing room. I know that we can be very good, but obviously the results have been so far very good. I think the performances can always be better, and that's what we try to improve. But at the end of the day, football is a result game, and you have to win games, and I think so far we're doing it fine.
You knew Arne Slot very well because you played against him in his career in Holland. Were you expecting such a good start from him as well in England, the first time for him abroad?
It's what I said. It's too easy for me to give an answer on that. I think he just has to keep going, keep improving us, keep showing what he wants from us, and have fun with it as well. And I think we're showing all of that as well on the pitch. But the season is still so long, so we'll stay humble and keep going.
The mentality is the same. You speak always very well. But what has changed tactically on the pitch for you with Slot?
I think if you can see, I think certain things, certain patterns in terms of how we want to play, how we want to control the game a little bit more. Obviously, with the way things were over the last couple of years, was very successful. And obviously, the manager now wants sometimes a little bit of a different approach of play. Everyone is still learning and enjoying it, so we have to just keep improving and keep going.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, I think 1-0 at any stage, especially towards the end, is difficult. I think we probably dominated most of the game up till about maybe 70 minutes or just past that. And then, when it's only 1-0 and you don't get that second goal, it's difficult. And they created a few chances. But look, the main thing is we got the win.
With Alisson now injured, the spotlight is on you again. Do you see this as an opportunity to prove your worth and give the manager a bit of a headache?
Yeah, of course. That's all I said. All I can do is just play well when I get the chance and give the manager something to think about. But most importantly is that I do well when I do get the opportunities and show what I'm about.
Another clean sheet as well. On only your third Champions League appearance, do these games feel extra special? Yeah,
of course. Yeah, one of the lads asked me before the game actually when was my last Champions League game. I think it was maybe 3 years ago or so. So now it's special to be back in this tournament, especially, and get the clean sheet is nice.
It's been an impressive start to the season under the new manager. It's actually the first time ever in the club's history that they've won the first 6 away games in the season. Has the manager brought a new belief to the team that's allowed you to be that consistent?
Yeah, of course, and I think obviously a big part of that is, like you say, the clean sheets and the defending. That's what the team needs to be built on. Especially in these away games, there's obviously going to be times when the home team gets on top and creates chances, but we need to be there to defend and to make saves, and that's the most important thing. So I think this season especially we've really built on our defence and been really good.
Well, you've won every game this season bar one, scored in every single one of those wins, and defensively been pretty solid as well. Momentum always so important in football, so how important was it to keep that going as you head into a tough game on Sunday at Arsenal?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, I think everyone knows it's a massive game now coming on Sunday. But like you say, keep that momentum is important for us. Another clean sheet and scoring a goal as well. But we'll be ready now for Sunday. We know we need a lot more.
Thank you very much. It feels great, to be honest. I didn't believe, to be honest, but I'm really, really happy for man of the match.
It was another really strong game for your team. How do you think it went?
I think every game in this stage and in this level it will be hard, we know. I think we had to score more goals if we want to win more easier. I think we make it a little bit difficult ourselves. Because, as I say, we didn't score another goal, but at the end we are happy with the win.
Yeah, we played against a really strong opponent. I think we started the game well, then in the first half we lost a bit of control. of the game. We made too many easy mistakes on the ball, and a team like this, if they get the chance on the counter-attack and also to play it deep, then it's not so easy. Second half, we played an open game. We had a couple of chances at the end. Yeah, it's disappointing that we lost the game, but yeah, we have to look forward now.
You really needed a point today. Why did it not work out?
Yeah, because of the reasons I just said. It's a strong opponent. If you allow them to play, if you make too many mistakes on the ball, if you cannot control the game enough, then you're just gonna run after the ball. And we had the phase in the first half. Second half, I think we did better, but at the end, with a bit of luck, maybe we could have got a point. Yeah. That's it. Unfortunately, we couldn't. So we have another 5 games in the Champions League. So hopefully we can make it right there.